For tonight's episode on The Scorecard, I am struggling to find the words to describe the man who will be joining us here on the show, because not only is he a personal friend of mine, he is a guy that has worked in the UAAP in different capacities. He was a commentator, used to analyze championship games, and now he is an assistant coach, champion in the UAAP when they won the championship here with UP back in season 84. Now his fourth year as the assistant coach of head coach Goldwin Monteverde. Let's welcome Coach Christian Luanzon on The Scorecard. Partner, thank you so much for the opportunity and the time.
Thank you.
I miss that smile, my friend. It's been a while.
I don't know what to say. I mean, how you introduced me. Thank you. Such kind words. Thank you.
So let's start. 4 years here with UP.
Right.
How has the experience been personally for you?
Well, it's been a wonderful blessing. We came in, just when basically the market was opening up. It was, the first season was a bubble season, which when we won the championship, season 84. So at that time, after 2 years walang basketball, and then being in a situation wherein for at least 4 months more, we were in a bubble dito kami sa University Hotel, and then playing 3 times a week, MWF. I remember yung schedule, and the preparation was only less than 4 months, maybe 3, because the season started no 2022 mga March, and then it finished around the second week of April, because June 13 I believe was the yung parang Friday the 13th yun yung game 3 na yun. So looking back, after that, winning and then losing the last 2, falling short, it's been a wonderful blessing. At the same time, a lot of heartaches, because nobody likes losing. But the reality is, if you want to be, in any sport for that matter, in a competition sport, if you can accept winning, the more you should accept losing. But losing also teaches you a lot of things. It has taught us definitely a lot of things, the players a lot of things. Growth is something that Coach Gold has always emphasized, never to stop yung growth as a team.
All right, so before I ask you about the season 84 championship, because obviously that is something that is near and dear to your hearts, as that was the pinnacle at this level in terms of the collegiate level in the UAAP. I want to ask about your history, about you and Coach Goldwin Monteverde,
right.
Because it's kind of like a situation where Coach Gold goes, Christian Luanzon goes. So talk about your history with Coach Goldwin.
He started his young coaching career in St. Stephen, and then as an assistant, and then he became a head coach, I believe, in 1993, after 2 seasons. So during that time, I was still elementary. We were hearing a lot of stuff about si Coach Gold. Remember, this was almost 30 years way back from now.
So no internet, it's all word of mouth.
Right. And also, he had a lot of youth, kumbaga. So he's quite the fiery coach, Of all the stories we were hearing kung gaano kahirap magpa-ensayo si Coach Gold, gaano katapang, how he's hard on his players and all that, And a lot more stories, too many to tell. In a way, we were spared, yung batch namin na yun, yung from elementary to high school na transition, kasi si Coach Gold had a 2-year parang leave, kasi that was the year he got married. And then when he came back, nung 3rd year na kami, we had a taste of him already, So, but the thing is, with him, it's always about yung relationship sa mga players. He's really hard on his players because to him, it's all about the team. And, he knows when you're not giving your best. And sometimes, and when you're young and and selfish and all that, you think that you're giving your best. Now, for example, in sprints, from baseline to baseline, you think that, 8 seconds, kahit na feeling mo, binigay mo na yung lahat. Eh kung tingin niya, hindi. Sometimes you would think na, hindi, coach, yun na yun eh. But because of how he was hard on us, how he would push us, it was really an act of love and concern. Both for us individually and also sa team. And me, I grew up, without my parents. My dad, up to now, is still working abroad. So he's like a second father to me, even up to this point. So that was huge for me personally. It was also huge for, for my teammates. Anytime, up to this day, anytime we would call him, text him, kung ano kailangan namin, whether it's, tungkol sa basketball or outside of basketball, if he doesn't answer, he's gonna make sure he calls you back. And then during my professional career, I explored coaching. So I called him up. At that time, he was, this was year 2007. At that time, he was in St. Jude Catholic School already.
Okay.
And then, I'll never forget, when I called him up, at the time I was married, I needed something, aside from learning how to coach, I needed something on the side. Because I was a family man already at that time. I just got married that same year, 2007. So I called him up. Gold, pwede bang mag-assistant sa'yo, ganyan. And then, ang pinaka-highlight nun, is, sige, magkita tayo. And then, he took me out to Mario's, which is one of his favorite restaurants in Morato. It's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll never forget, dun niya ako dinala. I felt really special when we had dinner, and then, he just told me, because to me, my mindset at that time, how hard can this be? I've been doing this my whole life. Yeah. It's still the same game, the four corners, dotted lines, 95 feet, and all that. But I underestimated, coaching. It's totally different from playing. And what I like about my experience from him is that he just allowed me to observe the first few months. Pinagdaanan ko rin lahat, I think for like the first 3 to 6 months, I was just on top of the bleachers, practice.
Observing lang.
Yeah, observing at the same time doing the videoing our practice. But, just, seeing how he teaches. And ang maganda pa ron, even as basketball evolved, like obviously the pace and space, the outside shooting and all that, dribble drive offense, and everything defensively, nag-adapt din siya, but at the same time, the principles remain the same. And siguro parang support what I'm trying to say. I'll never forget and this is something that I always tell people, even especially to our players. We had a game when I was playing in high school, and we were playing against a certain school, not gonna mention who, and we won by 70 points.
70?
7-0.
Wow.
70 points. So after that, we played in Philippine Cultural High School, which was walking distance from us, Abad Santos yun eh. After the game, syempre pag bata ka, tama ka na 70 points na nalo ka. Iisipin mo, tungtuwa ang coach mo. After ng game, sabi lang ni Coach Gold after ng game sa amin, mag-bihis kayo, may ensayo tayo.
Oh man.
Kami, we're looking at each other, bakit? We're like, wondering why. So anyway, balik kami ng St. Stephen. And I tell you, I can't even remember because there was how many suicides and baseline to baseline sprints we did na nasusuka na kami, And syempre, while doing that, we were wondering why, and there was sort of like resentment in our heart, bakit, paalam mo tayo. But after that, we understood, that's because, we have to not play to the standard of just winning by the scoreboard, but we have to play to the team standard. What is that? Yung standard ng team. No, it's more than winning. You know, it's playing the right way, playing your hardest, and playing to your potential. And yung team namin nun, we were a talented team, but we only won that game because of our talent. We didn't win because we were working hard on defense. We didn't win because we were working cohesively as a team. So, even up to this point, ganun si Coach Gold. No, it's more than just the final score for him. If he sees something that the team is not playing to its full potential, every single play, every single quarter, every single game, he's never content with that. And to me, that's just one of his part of his greatness as a coach.
Now, Christian, after everything that you shared with me about Coach Gold, his standards are just very different. After the championship, after season 84,
right.
Was he actually happy?
I'm not sure if happy is the word. I would say thankful.
Thankful. Coach, a lot of people are saying that there is now a rivalry between UP and LaSalle, and we saw what happened in the first round. Your thoughts about that chatter, and now UP and LaSalle is a spectacle?
I think it's great for basketball. If you look at historically, from leagues around the world, obviously the NBA, leagues locally like the PBA, and even with the small leagues, anytime there's rival schools, rival teams, it's always a great storyline. And to me, that's good for the sport because there's more spice into it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's important for us as a team, that this game it's an emotional sport, and the challenge as a player is how you control those emotions. It's different when you're practicing, simulating in practice. And si Coach Gold, lagi niyang nire-remind yung mga players almost every time that sort of like the external forces outside of this team, okay, how we sort of like cancel out those noise and how we focus on the internal stuff, how we would execute on the court. Remember all the details, we almost view every day, to clean up things or things that we could improve more as a team. How we would remember those details, apply it in practice, and eventually apply it in the game. And it requires a high level of commitment and focus from our players. And everything that I just mentioned to you, these are, I don't want to say distractions because they can also serve as inspirations.
It's crazy that you just said that because when I spoke to JD Cagulangan, I asked him what is the most important thing that he has learned with his recent basketball experiences playing here and playing abroad. And he said that he saw how the NBA players blocked out the noise. And I was telling him, in the UAP these days, the noise is crazy.
Right.
And so for him to realize that he has to zone, he has to block out the noise and just focus, lock in.
Right.
It shows that he's learning.
Yeah.
And that's a testament to the great coaching staff that you guys have. All right, I said that I won't give you a hard time, but JD Cagulangan had a hard time with this question.
Okay.
So before the first round, I saw Richie Rivero, who won a championship here and with LaSalle.
Right.
And
the only player to do that, by the way.
I know, that's insane. And I asked him to complete the sentence. So I'm going to ask you right now, Coach Chris. The UP Fighting Maroons will win the UAP Season 87 Men's Basketball Championship
if we commit ourselves to every play. And that goes on both ends, offensive end, defensive end. You know, with Coach Gold, he always says that it only takes 1 point to win. The meaning behind that is valuing each possession. So what comes with that is that you can also lose by 1 point. So valuing each possession regardless of the score, whether we're up by 20 or down by 20, you know, each possession should be really valued. And for us to achieve that, okay, yung commitment namin of each play on both ends, very important. If we do that, we got a great chance.
Thank you very much for the time, partner. Thank you. Coach Christian Luanzon, assistant coach of the UP Fighting Maroons here on the Scorecard on the Billionaire News Channel.